Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I have to say first, as a newcomer to the Senate and to this committee, this is one of the most impressive discussions I've been engaged in since I've been here, and this is the way these important decisions are supposed to be made, with passionate and well-conceived arguments on all sides. I find this a very tough call. I've gone back and forth, as Senator Gillibrand well knows, as we've discussed this issue over the past several weeks. There's a natural tendency of any hierarchy, of any hierarchical organization, to protect itself first. And I think that is an instinct, whether it's the Army or any other similar kind of organization. And that makes this a particularly tough call. Another preliminary comment I want to make is I think it's really important that we focus on the fact that this is part of a package and that there is a long list of initiatives in this bill, in the personnel bill and in the amendments, the 10 amendments that we adopted today, and where all the controversy is about one, and it shouldn't take either our eyes or the public's eyes off the fact that this is the most comprehensive approach to dealing with this issue that, in my knowledge, has ever been taken by the Congress. So I think that's a very important point of context. Next, to me, the most may turn out to be the most important part of your amendment is the retaliation section. I think that's what's one of the major things that's driving people not reporting, and the data is, they didn't say we're not reporting because of the chain of command. They say we're not reporting because of fear of retaliation or because we don't think anything is going to be done. It's unclear. You can interpret the data in different ways, but clearly retaliation is part of the problem. And at our hearing last week, when we had the second panel with the officers who were actually hearing these cases, one of the witnesses actually testified in answer to some questions that he believed that right now the more likely sort of grassroots response is some kind of retaliation against the complainant instead of against the perpetrator. And I thought that was a very damning but honest statement. Ultimately, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to support your amendment because I believe that in any organization, the leader sets the tone. And that's what we're talking about here is tone and culture. And if you take the commander of the unit out of the equation, then you're, as Senator Kaine mentioned, you're sending a message that we don't trust these folks, but also basically that commander then can say, okay, this isn't my problem anymore. And we want it to be their problem. And I think that the engagement of the leader of the group, whatever level, is a terribly important a part of the solution of this problem. The target is the failure to report. And I think if we can establish that retaliation itself is an offense, that, I believe, will be a very important contribution in addition to the safeguards that are the heart of your proposal, that there will be an alternative route if the decision is negative. And finally, I think Senator Cruz said something very important, and I was thinking it and trying to figure out how I was going to put it, but you put it very eloquently. This is a test. This is not the end of this story. And I realize there's a long history to this, and it's not satisfactory to victims to say, well, we're going to try something for 2 years and see if it works. I think this is a very far-reaching, comprehensive, and strong proposal, but if it doesn't work, if we don't see an improvement, if we don't see higher levels of reporting and a change in the culture, then I think this committee is going to have very little option but to change fundamentally the way these matters are handled. In a sense, I see this as a last chance for the chain of command to get it right. And for all of those reasons, again, I'll go back to the beginning. I consider this a very tough and close call but I think we've done something important here today. I commend Senator Gillibrand. I am so admiring of her passion and energy on this issue, and I don't think there's any question that we would not be where we are had she not been so strong on this. But on the other hand, I commend the chair and others who listened to both sides and found a solution that I think is creative and will be effective. I will support.
Thank you all. And I'm going to now ask the clerk to call the roll.